lean it toward this way. So you want me to read the comment?
There we are.
Okay. I mean, just don't want to move it too much where we pull anything out. Been a wild day.
Every day's a long day.
Are you wearing shorts right now?
I don't think he's wearing anything right now.
Well, I got an apron on. Don't
Yeah.
Let's people load in here. This is
What camera
Justin McPhail.
Yeah.
Justin McPhail part 3. We're going to summarize some of it at the very beginning because he's been on part 1 and 2, and 3 is a very important one. With that being said, this is going to be a pretty, I would say, gut-wrenching podcast.
It's going to be a deep one.
Very deep.
Deep and wide.
All right. Let's go ahead
Deep
and
wide. Yeah,
hit the intro and let's get into this.
Music by Plowed. Magnolia Room Speakeasy. Airbnb bosses. Drinks. Shout out to John. DirectAuto, go see Michael West. Collision Depot. They will fix and repair to the highest standard. The District Coffee Company, downtown Ocean Springs, and the new location, Pascagoula. Captain Al's, Gulfport, Mississippi. Go see Stacy and Bert.
We offer home, auto, motor, builders, whips, and life insurance.
Join our podcast with McCain Hibbert and Anthony Potera.
Y'all just kind of guide me into it. Just help me along.
Come on.
Dude. Oh, I see.
All right, Cade, hop off my drink, dog.
I see what's happening.
All right, hey, if you follow the this journey, I'm gonna just give a little bit on my behalf. Justin was locked up in county jail 6 years, 1 month, no misdemeanor, no felony, over $1,400 worth of child support that he paid. Coming from a land developer, pilot, highly educated man. He's free now, and it's just there's so much wrong with the system and the way that Justin has carried himself. I know if you guys checked in part 1 and 2, it's only getting better, but I'm gonna let Justin summarize a little bit about this. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're listening to this on your car radio tomorrow morning, this is it. This is an incredible story about a man that they've swiped almost everything out of his life, and he continues to fight.
Well, I mean, this is what's the day? This is the 3rd of June, 2025. So we're 10 days before my first anniversary of being out of jail. I was incarcerated on April the 4th, 2018, after a 3-year fight in family court, where essentially my ultra wealthy in-laws became disenfranchised and impatient because they couldn't take my son away from me. So they, after 3 years of fighting in family court with no legal way to do it, they just had me incarcerated for contempt. And I got put in jail on April the 4th, 2018, and I stayed in jail for 6 years and about 2 months. I was released June 14th, 2024. So I've been out a little less than a year, but it's close enough now to say it's a 1-year anniversary. So this is our 3rd podcast about this issue, and hopefully we'll have many more. But really, I'm just kind of here, not as a victim, but as a witness. And I want to tell everybody what's really going on with this family court system in Mississippi, and I want to help everybody else that's going through it, because if people are still going through this, it's just a very important issue. So 6 years and 2 months, and I was released, as I said, on June the 14th of last year. My son and I, who the custody issue was, I only have one child. The custody issue that I was incarcerated about was all concerning him. And he's with me. We live together down here in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. And he's a good kid. I'm a good dude. We're just doing the best we can to come back. He couldn't be here tonight. He's got a very important job. He just started. He's trying to do the right thing, get to bed early. But really we're just here as witnesses. We're gonna tell this story whether anybody likes it or not, because other people are still dealing with it.
I like it.
Well, let's go into and I know you're going to get into the other stuff, but like recently, you have a really good credit score, and this is
Yeah. Well, recently I've been in the real estate business most of my life since I was in college, and since I've been released from jail, I applied for my real estate license, and part of that process now includes a criminal background check. So the FBI did a background check on me within the last few weeks, and it came back clean. I have nothing on my record but speeding tickets. I'm just telling you, I've got a valid. Well, actually, my real estate license today is inactive because I put it on inactive status until I find a broker I want to work with. But this is all well documented. I mean, this is happening to good people all over the place that are not bad people, and I'm one of them. And I think my story is unique because I have qualifications that a lot of people don't have, and this happened to me. My message to the world would be, if it could happen to me, it could happen to you. So we need to talk about this. We need to dive into it. This case of mine needs to be fully examined, so that people are aware of what's really going on.
Do you want to talk about some of the ways that you've kind of been doing that lately? Like, diving into.
This is a wide open subject. One of the things I really wanted to dive into tonight that really inspired me to ask Jordan and his host here to
your cousins Anthony and Cade.
Cousins Anthony and
That's
Cade.
your family. Boys. We're family.
These are my people, no doubt. And I knew I could get a spot, but I asked for this spot not only because it's almost my 1-year anniversary from being out of jail, but because there's a lot going on across the nation that I think is going to affect this issue. The family court system was developed sometime in the past, and it was developed for a very specific purpose. In other words, much has been said about the family court system and its corrupt nature, as if it has transformed into something corrupt, when in fact it was developed with corruption in mind. It's operating exactly as it was designed to operate, is what I'm trying to tell people. And I'm going to tell you, without throwing anybody under the bus but myself, what I mean by that. When you go into family court, you're surrounded by people who look at you. And I want to be very specific here. I'm from Grenada, Mississippi, the 3rd Judicial District of this state. And I've lived there since 1993, and I've been in the real estate business there. I've have family there. I've been a member of the community there all this time. But this happened to me in Grenada County, Mississippi, in the 3rd Judicial District of this state. That does not mean that what I'm about to tell you has anything to do, it's not confined to this judicial district, but this is where it happened to me. When you walk into the courtroom, you will be treated, your rights that are most sacred to you will be treated with impunity, and you will know immediately the people that surround you. You can just tell when you're dealing with people who know there's no escape. So when you try to contact the people who you thought were responsible for enforcing the rights that you thought you had, that you've been raised to think that you had, you will find that they will all turn you back into the family court system. First and foremost is the FBI. I've called them at least 6 times, 7 times, 8 times. I'm tired of calling the FBI. They're going to turn you right back into your attorney. Okay, that's how it's been. When you appeal to the Mississippi Supreme Court, they're going to turn you right back into your family court judge. When you talk to your preacher who's supposed to care about your children, they're going to turn you right back into your family court judge. This system was designed to be corrupt. It's designed with all these protections, and it's been this way for years. And there is no escape from it, or there has not been before now. It's the most corrupt, evil organization I've ever been a part of or ever been exposed to in my life. And it's all happening right here in the Bible Belt in Mississippi. It's also happening across the entire nation. And there is, you can go, I'm going to show you just in a little bit. I don't know how much time y'all got here tonight, but I've got plenty, and I'll come back and do this again. This story is breaking across the entire nation because it's been coming on for so long, and so many people are so tired of it that it's beginning to come to a head. And I'm skipping around some, but this is serious. So you just need to know that there's nobody out there to help you. I mean, it was designed that way. It's obvious to me. I don't have, I'm not an attorney. I'm like the rest of you. I have to work for a living. I don't have time to document every opinion that I have, but I have a lot of experience dealing with people, and I can spot patterns in behavior. And I know when I'm dealing with something that's protected in so many ways that there's no hope. At least there hadn't been before now. So what I think is significant about this time period in our existence as humans really is that we have a president who has put his life on the line to change the country. So I'm going to do the same thing. If you're watching the national news right now, what you're seeing is, in my opinion, you're seeing the Trump administration, whether you like them or don't like them, it's irrelevant to me. What you're seeing is slowly the layers are being peeled back that have protected this family court system for years and years and years. The FBI is being decentralized. They're going to be put into a situation, I feel like, where they're going to be actually maybe able to help people like us, the real people of this country. You're seeing the layers stripped back. Pressure will become significant for the judges and the corrupt officials who have been a part of this whole time. And it's coming to a boiling point. And I don't know if anybody, I think a lot of people are not aware of this issue, but I'm keenly aware of it because I've suffered from it. And I'm here to tell you other people are also suffering from it. So we know we need to stay on top of this issue. The people of Mississippi deserve to know whether or not their children are protected under the rights that we thought we had. If my only issue is, not my only issue, that's not fair. I got lots of issues, believe me. The people who are responsible for protecting us and enforcing our rights need to tell us if we have these rights or if we do not have these rights. First and foremost, that has to happen. It hadn't happened yet. Y'all follow me?
Yeah. No, I'm following.
Yeah.
I'm following you.
So in other news, which may seem unrelated, the state of Arizona recently held a committee. They called it a committee meeting. It was essentially several hundred people came forward before the legislature of Arizona to complain about very, very, very significant issues with how they were treated in family court in Arizona. Now, this includes, well, didn't just include, it's almost highlighted by the way that the family court appointed psychologists and mental health professionals interact with them, the way the guardian ad litems, who are supposed to be some superhuman totally impartial entities interact with them, and how their rights have been violated. And this is all live interviews. This is a live stream meeting with the Arizona legislature, where these parents are pouring their hearts out about their children being abused and neglected and taken from them and put into situations where they were physically, sexually, mentally, psychologically abused. And they appear to have been taken very seriously by the legislature, who then I don't know all the political mechanisms, but apparently they put together some kind of a bill which reached the office of the governor in Arizona. Wait 1 second. Governor Katie Hobbs. This bill reached Governor Katie Hobbs. She vetoed a bill that would protect these kids from all this abuse and neglect that these 400 parents had complained about before the legislature on public video. She vetoed it. You know, it didn't surprise me that she vetoed this bill. That's not what's significant about this whole conversation I'm having. What is significant about it is that this bill actually reached her office and she had to take a position on it. I'm not from Arizona, and neither are you. Most of you, probably tonight.
One Justin, 1 sec. Haley, do you mind just taking that camera and zooming in on Justin? And just let me move it. It's on that it's T on the right side. Yep, there we go. All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got me?
Thank you.
Thank you. And you guys should have shaved.
That's good. They look great.
Yeah.
My point is, and I have a point, trust me, if it takes me a while to get there.
No, you got points.
My point is the Arizona governor was brought to a point where she had to she already knew. She had to come forth and say where she fell on this issue. The family court issue, the corrupt. She had to actually come forward and say she had to refuse to support a bill that would protect children from abuse and neglect and all these. And these parents, it's awful. You can watch this for you. Don't take my word for it. My point is, every governor in the United States needs to be put to the same test. If there's no problem, there's no problem. I'm saying there's a problem. There's too much silence on this issue. You know, too much silence. This issue is, I did 6 years and 2 months in the county jail. I have no criminal history. That's all anybody needs to know. If that's not enough to convince you, you deserve whatever happens to you. Mississippi is one of the worst states in the nation about this, and our governor needs to also say where he stands. And I'm going to see to it it happens that way. And I need your support if you're out there. How? I'll show you a path. I don't know the path right now, but it is coming. But that's where we're at. Taking questions. Anybody else?
When they veto, I always wanted, if they say no, I always wanted them to have to explain it.
I know it.
Shouldn't that be a position of a political representative? If you say no, why?
It should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what the Arizona governor would have. Why?
I don't know. Since this time, it appears this bill has been rewritten and maybe reproposed, and I think maybe there's some of those reforms are going to be put into place. But it's pretty obvious that there's just what people don't realize is about family court. Everybody goes, and I see this over and over again. Until you've dealt with it, you don't understand it. When somebody new is drawn into the family court, into their own case, they go before the judge, and because I get phone calls inadvertently about what happened to me and if I can help them, and they're always everybody always thinks that doing the right thing, if they can just show that they've done the right thing, that they've been the best parent or that they've been a good parent, that it will help. That's a misconception. Nothing about this is designed to support whether you've been a good parent or not. It's all designed to get your money and to terrorize you in the process. That way, other parents who come behind you will give their money up easier and with no fight. So let me give you an example of that. I've done 6 years and 2 months in the county jail for refusing a psychological evaluation and a drug test and owing $1,400 in child support that I didn't have the money to pay. I got out of jail and I've contacted several attorneys who say, I am so sorry that you were treated that way. That's awful. That's just pitiful. All right. But I know for a fact that other families in Grady County who are going through the similar situation, who are in the beginning stages of their own case, are being terrorized by the results of my case, as if they don't do what's asked of them, they will be also incarcerated and could suffer the same fate I suffered. These people are terrorists, and they're sponsored by the state of Mississippi as it stands right now. And there's no other way. This is my third podcast. Nobody has come forward to dispute this claim. And if they do, they can bring it on. I'll be happy to have a discussion with them. But
why would they put somebody who refused a psych eval into jail? Wouldn't they just go straight to, wouldn't they go to like the mental hospital or something
if they had a real reason to push you to order psychological, in America,
that doesn't seem like a good idea.
In America, you can only be required to take a psychological evaluation if you kill somebody and claim insanity. People, I'm telling you, as a matter of fact, let me just say this. I'm not going to bore you all night with, but Mississippi, who I appear to be railing against. This is my home state. I love it, by the way. I always have. And it's come to the point where I've either got to leave or change it for the better. So you see what's happening here. But Mississippi's not always been so stupid as they are now, or so inconsiderate. Our state has had good law in the past and some of the best law in the country. This is a case right here from 1986. I'm going to read you just a little brief description of what a right actually is. And I'm not going to go on all night about this, but this is a case.
Shout out Coop real quick. Shout out Coop.
What's up, Coop?
He's in here. He's watching you.
He is. Hey,
what up, Coop?
Buddy?
Hey, look, if they're watching, they're interested, so don't worry about all that.
Yeah. Okay. So look. This is a Mississippi Supreme Court case from 1954. This is what the Mississippi Supreme Court had to say about rights in 1954. By definition, rights give the individual zones of unchecked discretionary action that others, whether private citizens or government authorities, may not invade. They are entitlements of an individual. He or she may claim at his or her election. They may be claimed no matter how inconvenient society or its members deem it. That they may be so claimed is what makes them rights. When a family court judge comes at you in violation of your rights and demands that you do things that are unlawful, you have a right to refuse it. And Mississippi has always said that this is an inviolable right. That's what makes them rights. You either have the right or you don't have the right. If they ask you to take a test, then you have a right. If you can believe one thing, if you didn't have the right, they wouldn't fucking ask. They would just do it. So if they're asking, you got a right. If you got a right, you can refuse it. This is basic. It's because Mississippi has not always been so stupid as they are now. That's the case. I'm trying to help everybody understand here where they stand. Am I skipping around?
No,
you're good.
1931. It's still good case law right here. McPhail versus Valentine. A chancellor could not act under this section so as to deprive a parent of the custody of his minor children without notice to such parent and a hearing and proof of the allegations of the petition. I was held in jail for 6 years and 2 months. My petition has never been heard. Never been heard. They held me in jail. No proof, no evidence, no nothing, just simply because my ex-wife filed a petition. I was
Hey,
put in
but
jail.
make sure you tell them it's county jail.
County jail. County jail. Yeah. Excuse me. County jail.
Yeah, it's a whole different. It's county jail.
So anyway, the rights that are in question here are not. This is not a subtle nuance of the law. This is like. This is the reason. As a matter of fact, I really wanted to make this date before Memorial Day. These are rights that our veterans have fought for 400 years and died. You know, you can put flowers on the grave of your family on Memorial Day. It's wonderful. Everybody should do that. But if you really want to respect your veteran, demand the rights that have been fought for and died. I mean, these people have, I don't know how to say this, but they just sacrificed so much for us to have these rights. The least we can do is demand that they be respected in family court, you know. And if you want to honor a veteran, I have ancestors who fought in the war, served in World War II, served in Vietnam, we all do. Don't be a pussy. Make your family court judge, respect your rights. If you put you in jail, fuck it. It's just jail. I did it for 6 years and 2 months. They can't take us all, people. Just do it. Tell them you're not going. Take up for your kids. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, man.
Let's go into real quick. And this is something serious. I mean, you went from $1,400 child support to be put in a county jail, no misdemeanor, no felony. You got shanked in jail. You actually freed over close to a dozen people through you just reading and
just
helping other people,
writing letters. Yeah, literally, so many people that are in jail don't really understand why they're there, and don't have. Some of these people can't even read and write, and don't understand how to articulate the facts of their story to the right people. In some cases, it doesn't matter what they articulate, because they're, you know, the criminal justice system is also kind of shady. But yeah, I did help people get out. Yeah, I wrote, just writing letters to.
How many books do you think you read in jail?
Well, I read the Bible about 3 times. I read all the soap packs, the shampoo bottles, I read all the toothpaste.
You know some ingredients. You know some damn ingredients.
I read everything I get my hands on, and yeah. Yep. It's not a place for. If you got family in jail, do yourself a favor in them too. Call them and, you know, reach out to them. We lose the camera.
No.
No, we're fixing it back.
So yeah.
So I can interact.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Keep going.
Oh yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the. I don't know. This is a it's a marathon. It's not a 40-yard dash. I will. Tonight is another. It's just another.
I think you've been in under it so long that you kind of forget all the bad that's happened. It's hard to hold it all in or understand or remember all of it. But I want to refresh, like, what you were before they incarcerated you.
Tell us a little bit of how you were before.
I mean, like,
Well,
fuck it, annual income, qualifications, bachelor's degree. I mean, like, this is.
Well, I'm 50 years old. I started working in 1987 when I was about 13, paid income tax, and I never stopped. I've been working ever since. I hadn't missed a day of work that I know of since that time. You know, this is going way back. You said go back.
Yeah.
This is going way back. But for a half a century.
Shit.
I'm saying I'm just an average person. What I mean is, I started out driving tractors and sweeping floors and cutting tobacco and hauling hay And
Was that in Calhoun City? or-
that was in Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I lived in Kentucky, in Mayfield, Kentucky, until I got out of high school. And then I came to Grenada, where this all went down, and I started at Holmes Community College in Grenada, and I went there for 3 years, or however long it took to take up, whatever.
However long it took me to get out.
Took a minute. It took a little longer than it was supposed to, whatever it took. And then I went to Ole Miss until I graduated in 1998 with a degree in business administration. It took a little longer than it was supposed to take too. But in the meantime, I had a pilot's license, and I bought and sold land and timber.
How'd you get your pilot's license? So that's a lot of work to get your pilot's license. I mean, that's a lot of flight miles.
You just have to.
Right.
You just have to start.
Unless they changed it. But
It's like everything. It takes. At the
isn't
time,
it like 200 hours or something like that?
Well, at the time it was supposed to take 40 hours, but
40 hours.
it always takes a little longer. It took 60 or 70.
What were you flying? Like just to train him?
Cessna 172. Yeah, at the time.
You just flew around with somebody else?
Well, at the time, I was a timber buyer, and we had a timber buying company. We had 15 or 20 logging companies that worked under us that would
Wow.
we had to, we would buy standing timber, and they would cut the timber. So and that was all over the north part of the state, from Jackson all the way up to Memphis, Tennessee, or even further north. So we would fly from job to job and fly over large tracts of land from time to time, and
Fly low, looking at trees. And
fly low.
Whatever,
I had a buzzard one time flying over a tract of timber. Yeah,
that's cool, man.
me and another guy. I was flying, he was riding. We almost got out.
All right, let's get into this shot. Coop, this is shot.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
also Justin,
Shout out to
Here's-
Coop.
and for how
I love
fucked
y'all.
up this system is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
hey, look, it's the people system. We got to fix the system. It's
And,
up to
Yeah. Shout out to Coop.
That's the road,
on
but
his new
we still get to
podcast.
live.
Yeah. It's
Check
our
it
sy-
out.
It's our system.
It's just still shitty though. I mean,
You had a concealed carry too.
What's that?
I mean, you carried. You had a concealed carry permit, and like,
oh, well, I got sure, yeah.
you had all the. I mean, you can still get it now. I'm just saying.
The day that I got put in jail, I had a enhanced concealed carry and firearms permit, FBI background check. The whole nine. I mean, the whole point here is to illustrate that incarceration comes with a stigma. The stigma at one time may have been valuable, but now the stigma precedes the incarceration, and it precedes everybody's opinion of you. And so the mere fact you've been incarcerated will be used to stigmatize you. And this is all being used to submit good people into submission. Submitted them. That's people are being terrorized into submitting to the family courts for no reason, simply because most people have houses to pay for, cars to pay for, families to send to school, and they can't afford to say no. They can't afford to stand up for themselves. I assure you, I did 6 years and 2 months in county jail for nothing more than demanding, or really just asking for the benefit of the rights that are already on the books. These rights are not. This is not something that's. How have we gotten to the point where such basic rights are not automatic, is what I'm trying to say. These things have been established when we came over here from England and fought the Revolutionary War. The rights I'm talking about that are involved here that are basic rights.
well, let's go into this situation though. All right, you're in county jail. You're not getting the answers you want, but you're waiting. You're day to day. You're day to day on answers. Are they going to call me out of the cell? When did you start losing hope that they're not fucking coming for you? Like, was it a month in? Was it a year in? Like, because you'd ask and they'd be like, they're playing games with you. I mean, you went to jail for $1,400 in child support, which you're not supposed to go to jail for.
I had my ex-wife filed the custody suit in 2015. To this day, there have been 25 hearings over the life of the entire suit. 16 of those hearings took place between the day I was incarcerated and the day I was released. I asked 16 different times to be released from jail while I was in jail. I went to court 16 times. I have a stack, and this we can bring. All this has got to be talked about. Man, I got so much stuff. Look, if our viewers get bored, we can fire them back.
I want to go.
I've got transcripts. I'm talking about verbatim transcripts of what was discussed in the courtroom. I was asking to see my son. I only had one son. He didn't know what happened to me. I could have disappeared in a fucking UFO abduction, as far as he knew. And these people would not let me talk to my son. This went on for 6 years.
Well, it sounds like they sent him off.
Well,
too.
Mr. McPhail, we would like to see you be a good parent. I mean, they talk to you so bad that unless you're hard headed like I am, you would start to think that it was your problem and not their problem. You cannot believe how you'll be done. But other people listening to this will know, and the attorneys that listen to this and the judges listening to this, I know you all know, and you either come out and talk about this or be counted among the people that are trying to protect it, because I know you know. If you want to hear a fucking joke, call the Bar Association and try to complain about your family court judge and record it, and you can send it straight to Saturday Night Live. They'll play the whole thing verbatim. It's a joke. This system is so protected. If you call the FBI, well, you need to talk to your attorney. If you call the Bar Association, well, I mean, you could fly a spaceship through your judge's butthole easier than you can file a goddamn claim. I'm not,
True,
I didn't come here not
true.
to make friends.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for the popularity contest. I'm through with all this. I'm telling you, this whole thing is protected. It's an atrocity. It's an outrage against the people of Mississippi and the American people, and it's got to end. And if Trump leaves this up, and I'm talking to him if he's listening, he cannot leave office and leave this undone, and our country be great again. This is if your roof is leaking, you don't fix your floor, you fix your fucking roof first. That's how serious this is. You see what I'm saying? This is until
I understand what you're saying.
Until they solve this problem, we won't know what other problems are being affected by it.
My thing is like, and this is what people need to understand, is like, you're in that situation where they didn't fucking give you answers.
I didn't have a law library.
They kept you in a cage.
They kept me in a cage. In America, you cannot incarcerate somebody without a law library. You have to, when you put somebody in jail, you take away all their rights. The only way they have access to their rights is if they have a law library. That's the only right they've got left from the law library. If they're dedicated, they can seek access to the rest of their rights that have been taken away from them. I didn't have a law library. There's no law library in the Grenada County Jail. I mean, it's in one point, I said this in a letter. It's not about what rights I have been violated. It's about what rights you have left. You can't. But this is what's being done to people. Again, I don't want to be told the people are sorry for what happened to me. This is a battle cry. We got to do something about this. When they fuck with the wrong person, I'm saying we're gonna somehow or other.
Oh, you're not stopping.
No, hell no. Why would I stop now?
I know that you're not. Is this significant? This bullshit. Is this significant with small town? I mean, because it's like, my dad's a fucking judge, or my dad's cousin's a judge, and like, I mean, that's what Grenada is.
That's what we tend to. It is.
That's what Grenada is.
But it's like saying, let me see. It's like saying everybody that's got a problem with drugs started off on milk. We all started off on milk. This entire country started off on milk. It's happening in Grenada, and we think it's a Grenada problem. It's happening in Mississippi. We think it's a Mississippi problem. But all you have to do is Google it a couple of times, and you'll realize it's a national problem. This was designed. It was designed this way. And it takes advantage of the religious aspect of our society, where people think that, well, it's happening to them because they did something wrong, when really it's an atrocity.
What is the term guardian ad litem? Guardian ad litem.
The guardian ad litem is.
I've only ever heard they're pieces of shit, and they're in charge of everything.
I mean, let's be fair.
They're the,
And
they're the high school counselor.
I want to let me. If I don't say anything else tonight, let me say one thing. If you go to law school and you have student debt from law school, you don't have any choice but to go. I mean, this is impossible to be licensed. Is a bar license. Every attorney has to be bar licensed. They don't. It's not really fair to say that these people all are happy with what they're doing. But it's all a function of the bar association. Well, it's all protected through the power of the bar association, the judicial process, the Mississippi legislature, and the fact that they are all co-opted to help one another in this process, for lack of a better description. Just because an attorney is a dickhead to you in family court doesn't mean that he wakes up in the morning dying to be a dickhead to you in family court. But by the time he obtains his law degree, he is beholden to another God. It has nothing to do with your constitutional rights. They're beholden to their own gods. And the attorneys, the judges that are a part of it have to be attorneys first. So what you end up with is this indoctrination, process. I mean, this is no joke. This indoctrination process, it has reached the highest levels in Mississippi. It goes from the bottom to the top is all I can tell you. And I can show you this in writing. You don't have to take my word for it.
Could you tell again the experience you had with your guardian ad litem about an interracial couple?
My guardian ad litem's name was Ginger Miller.
Yeah.
From Senatobia, Mississippi. And
I can hate Senatobia.
And I don't even know where to start. My case started in April. My ex-wife filed the petition to change the custody in April 2015. The first hearing was set in this case for about 30 days later, which was May the 6th. What was supposed to take place at that hearing was this. Her petition for modification included some very vague references to the fact that I was not, that our custody needed to be changed because I was, it was in the best interest of our son. Okay. That's all it said. Well, Justin is not wonderful in our son's best interest. We need to change the custody. Okay. At the first hearing, what was supposed to take place was she was supposed to prove that her allegations were valid. This is common sense. Before they can proceed to the violation of my rights or my son's rights, they were supposed to have to come forward at this very first hearing, 30 days into it, and just show that there was at least some evidence that, okay. So I'm at this hearing. I had an attorney. I went right out and had an attorney. We go to this first hearing. She didn't come to the hearing. Her attorney came to the hearing. She was a school teacher, so she wasn't there that day. I was there. Her attorney presented zero evidence. None. Nothing. Nada. Nothing. My attorney, her attorney, and the judge run off to the side, have a little meeting. The judge takes the bench. He comes back and he says, well, this petition is dismissed for lack of merit. There's no evidence that's been presented. So this entire petition is dismissed. Case is over. 30 days into it, done, nothing, over with. Well, that made perfect sense to me because there was nothing there. I knew there was nothing there. So my attorney comes back to me, Jimmy Powell in Grenada, Mississippi, and says, well, congratulations. This is over with. And I said, this is over with, right? That's what I heard. Oh yeah. We shook hands. We walked out to my vehicle together, patted me on the back and sent me on my way. I went back to my life, called my family, told them I was, this is over with. Okay. A little less than a year later, Jimmy Powell called me back and told me that my ex-wife had filed a restraining order against me. I was under the same cause of action that was dismissed almost a year earlier because nobody actually entered a written order on the record closing the case out. So I don't mind calling everybody out here. I'm going to say what they did was they totally held a hearing. One state sponsored appointed judge, no, not elected judge, and two attorneys, one of them was my attorney, held a hearing to deceive me into thinking the case was over, waited a year. Well, look, the court docket shows that in that year period, my ex-wife's attorney was conducting discovery. I don't mean to bore you all to death here. I'm just saying, this is so friggin' basic that everybody is like, nah, well, anyway. I'm just saying.
You're calling them out. I want to hear it. Keep it up.
I'm saying that's fraud, criminal fraud.
It is. But you took a long road there. I want to go on to the east.
I'm losing everybody, but I'm telling you, it's that serious.
But
yeah.
You had
talk about what happened with the.
You had a racist.
So the guardian ad litem was appointed a year later.
Please expose Grenada for what the fuck is
Yes.
that?
So 1 year later, after this fake hearing I'm talking about, 1 year later, out of the blue, my ex-wife files a motion for a restraining order. That's when the guardian ad litem was appointed. Was my point. Okay. She was appointed for 30 days. I objected. They overrode it. Her tenure lasted 5 years. But in the meantime, it's just so much to tell. Between the time she was appointed and the time I went to jail, she was employed by my ex-wife. She's the one that filed the motions that resulted in my incarceration. The reason she filed those motions was because they wanted to take me to trial. I was out of money. I'd been through 5 attorneys. So stay with me here. I've been through 5 attorneys. They wanted me to go to trial. I couldn't win. But they didn't know that I had all these text messages and emails and stuff. So I called a meeting with the guardian ad litem and showed her all my text messages. I said, look, I'm just holding out hope here that you're going to, I had my mother, another girl with me, and my son. We met with the guardian ad litem. I showed her all this evidence. She said to me, well, what about the mixed race couple that was living in your house? And I didn't even pay her any attention. I just kept talking. She said, well, what about this mixed race couple that was living in your house? And my mother heard this. Everybody with me heard it. And I said, what are you talking about? A mixed race couple living in my home. You're a representative of the state of Mississippi, are you not? Is a mixed race couple being in my home any worse than any other couple being in my home? What's the problem? That's when she freaked out and held up her notes, her notebook, which she said, I didn't ask that question. She said, Jay asked that question, my ex-wife's attorney. They had colluded before the whole meeting to derail the evidence that I was there to show her. It's just too much for this one meeting, probably.
No,
but
it's not. No,
what I'm trying to tell you is I got put in jail because I had more evidence than they had going into this trial. I didn't even have an attorney. That's what they do to people. The reason I went to jail is because I wouldn't give up. And look, I'll call them all out. They don't like it. Prove me wrong.
Let's say everybody's name.
There are. Yeah,
I'm on that.
There are 3 affidavits right now filed on the court record. My mother signed one. The girl that was with me signed one, and I signed one, testifying to what she did that day. But it never came up again. We're getting off in the weeds now, but this is the truth.
No, we're not.
I mean, there's just not so much. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's
whatever I
deep,
tell you,
man.
I can back up. I can back it up. I will back it up. It's coming out.
I think you should call them out. Go full blown. I mean, they're fucking. If you don't do it, I mean, it's now.
Who's going to do it if you don't?
Well, the attorney, my ex-wife's attorney, was a trial law attorney. His name is Jay Gore III. He's in Grenada, Mississippi. He's right now sitting, as last I checked, he is the county attorney for the Board of Supervisors in Grenada. And really, this is stuff that people should be killed for or lose their license or both in that order. These are not minor encroachments. I mean, I don't know how to tell you this. You know what I'm saying?
No, they need to be.
It's got to happen. It almost has to happen to you for you to know. Hopefully we got people listening tonight it's happened to. People that know what's going on. I don't know.
They are. I mean, that's like I said. Like
They don't.
there's
Adolf Hitler, not Adolf Hitler, but in Mein Kampf, he refers to the fact that the bigger the lie is, the easier it is to pass. If you tell a little lie, people doubt you. If you tell a big lie, they will acquiesce and they'll think, well, it's too big a lie to be a lie. So, but I'm telling you, this whole thing is out of hand. Thank y'all for having me tonight. I appreciate it.
No, we're not done.
No, well, we could be done. I mean, I'm saying this has got
I
to
was
be
getting distracted with
we
voices
got-
on the other side of the damn couch.
Well, we
Text Emily already.
I've told everyone I'm just shut.
We got to keep this. We got to keep this.
No, Justin, it's not you. It's just there's noises. Hey guys, hey,
Please.
hey,
Please.
babe, can y'all push it over there because we're like trying to podcast and it's super loud.
We got to keep this. This has got to be. Well, it's going to be told. I'm going to tell it. I don't care. I'm saying. I'm here. It's easy to coach somebody toward forgiveness. It's easy to coach somebody toward putting stuff in their past and everything. But I've done the hard part of this, and I can tell you right now, this is not over. I know for a fact there are families right now in Grenada that are being threatened with my case to the extent that if they don't cooperate, they could suffer the same consequences I suffered. And that's too much for me to bear. And I'm just here to tell you that I come from a long line of tall, skinny, hard-headed motherfuckers, and I'm not putting up with that.
You've already got people reaching out to you, man. Like people are reaching out from up there, man, and
Well, it is what it is. Y'all good?
it's happening. No, we can get. We're at 52, man. We can keep going.
52? No, all right.
I mean, I would. So going.
We're here as long as you're here.
Yeah, I mean, this is because this is like. I mean, not just with us. I mean, this is a lot of information you're bringing in.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
You can
It's got to be kept where people can watch it and discuss it, and I know that.
It's a lot of stuff that's been on your mind. I mean, you've been working on this. You've been prepping for this. There's a lot.
If yeah, well, it's too much. 10 years of information is too much for any one sitting. It's got to be pieced out. It's got to be made relevant. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Substack with this. I'm going to start posting this stuff. It's just to the point where if I don't do it, I'm going to lose it. So, but anyway, this is the point. Right now, we've got a president who is willing to fight for us, and this may seem abstract to people, but it's not abstract at all. We've got people like me this is happening to, and we just gotta keep pushing.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
I love you too, man.
If I didn't think it meant a lot to everybody, I wouldn't be doing it. This is
Changing. This is something people need to hear. This is some bullshit. You got fucking robbed, man. You got robbed of your reputation. You got robbed of your businesses.
You got robbed of 6 years of your life.
Fucking, they just took you.
Somebody got robbed. It ain't over yet.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. That's
Well,
like,
so, hey, I want to talk about
I can tell you right now, it ain't over
you got
yet.
fucking robbed, dog.
Hey.
Fuck y'all.
Having you down here has been the biggest asset ever
Yeah.
to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love you,
because I
man.
know the
Yeah.
fucking life you had.
I never
No,
thought a day in my life you'd be down here helping us out.
Well, this may be, people.
But this is awesome.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Maybe if you didn't go to jail for 6 years, you wouldn't be
Well,
down here helping. You know what I mean?
Look, again, I'm telling y'all, I'm not. This is not a sob story. This is the beginning.
Well, Well,
I mean, I would rather be on my side of the story than the other fucking side. I'm telling you, this is
we've
physically
got
get
the same
serious.
family here, and it is a very common denominator.
Yeah.
We miss the ones that are gone, and we
Yeah.
hate the motherfuckers that are alive.
I know
Yeah.
it. I know. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And that's 100% fucking true, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if they want to chime in and want to show up, fuck. I mean, it'd be the best day of my life. I mean, but
Yeah.
same as yours. But what do you? All right, so I asked you, is there an algorithm of what's owed? Because I would suspect you was probably bringing in what
I was
$300,000 a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back in the
Had your own fucking
you
company.
know,
$300,000 a year back in early 2000s.
I was making enough money that the first 2 years of the custody suit, my child support was paid early. The only way that I could have been put in jail was if somebody collaborated and that had to be stopped. That had to be interrupted
yeah.
to get me in a position.
I
where
can
could
only
pay
think of a
child
few
support.
jealous motherfuckers about how much money's made in Grenada.
Well, it's a matter of if you're doing well, they don't have anything on you. But if you're not doing well, they got something on you. You can just believe that if you've never seen a woman mad because you paid her, and I think you probably have.
Mhm.
If you've seen a person mad because you paid them, not because you didn't pay them, then you can understand what had that a lot went into this.
So what's fucking owed?
And I know every bit of it. Nothing's
Here's
owed.
a
Oh well, so yeah, okay.
well, no, here's something to draw a crowd. I'm gonna take the shot first.
I look.
I want to know what's
Yeah.
fucking owed.
Okay, well let me tell you what's owed.
There's gonna be an algorithm based on what you had,
No,
what you could have had, what might have happened on the ideal of your expansion that you were doing. I don't think they got enough money in the whole fucking the whole city in Grenada.
no,
No,
no.
And I
They ain't
think
got
all them
that.
motherfuckers are broke as hell too.
they ain't
Fuck
got
that city.
Probably two last names ain't broke. There's two last names that ain't broke. The rest of them broke as fuck.
The people that did this to me are not broke.
That's one of them last names.
Hell, I think we looked at one of the biggest buildings in Grenada,
People that did this to
Mississippi,
me are
and it
not
was
broke because you don't.
Get to go into it.
almost not
People that
there.
did this to me are not broke. And I'm going to tell you something else. This is just if you're out there,
I'd rather be broke than be them.
if you're tempted. I was released on the 14th of June, and the order of my release included a $21,000 money judgment against me for attorney's fees and guardian ad litem fees. So they released me after 6 years, 2 months in jail, and said I owed $21,000. That $21,000 consisted of two things: attorney's fees for my ex-wife's attorney for keeping me in jail for 6 years, and guardian ad litem fees that were adjudicated to me at a hearing I was not present at. I was in jail. Okay.
You wouldn't work a job. You're in fucking jail.
I was in fucking
Yeah.
jail. They did not take me to I didn't know about the hearing. I was not taken to
fucking
the hearing.
disgusting.
This is you have a right to notice and an opportunity to be heard. It's the founding principle of due process. This is not a subtle nuance of the law. You have a right to be noticed of a hearing if your rights are going to be infringed, or your property is going to be taken, which is money, and you get present at the hearing. I wasn't either. That $21,000 consisted of her attorney's fees and jail fees. Almost 6 days later, while I was at home hugging my family's neck, glad to be out of jail, they entered another judgment, two more judgments against me that I was not noticed on. There was no hearing, nothing, for another $23,000. Bringing the total to $44,000. They held me in jail for. This is how arrogant these people are. And you know who the fuck you are. And I know who you are.
Love this. There we go. Fuck you.
Look, I was held for 6 years and 2 months, released, told I owed $21,000. And then 6 days later, with no hearing, no notice, no nothing, 2 other orders were entered, signed by the same judge, indicating I owed another $23,000. So I owe, if the Mississippi Supreme Court doesn't allow my appeal to go forward, I have to start making payments on $44,000 in fees to people that held me in jail for 6 years and 2 months. It's that simple.
And you couldn't go to work and pay off the debt. You're collecting debt.
Collecting debt. Now,
Yeah,
child support. Now look, the child support, I want to make this very clear right now. My son turned 18 on December the 29th, 2023. Every nickel of the child support is paid through his 18th birthday. Child support's over. That's done. Everything that I owe is strictly related to these bogus attorney's fees and these GAL fees and these 2 bogus entries on the court record that took place after I was released. And at this point, this raises the bar from a Justin McPhail problem to a societal issue. If you don't have enough, if you're not sophisticated enough to understand the implications of this problem, then you need to find somebody that is and has them to explain it to you, because what this means is that anybody out there can be charged with any amount of money at any time for no reason and have to pay it and be in prison for it. Debtor's prison. It's debtor's prison in America. It was outlawed. It's the reason we fought the Revolutionary War, was to avoid debtor's
Justin,
prison.
real quick though, so you are in county jail, do they have offer like a $2 a day you can work this job to make money?
No,
So there was no way for you even in jail to make
not enough.
$10.
But how's the only way you even got fucking access to the internet?
Yeah.
Because you had
I'd
no
been,
library.
I'd been in jail for 3 years. So I'm a county inmate. So in a jail like Grenada, which this is not to, some of them, this is not to, the management of the jail is completely separate from the court system. Once you find yourself in jail, they're just simply carrying out the orders of the court. So the jail system, good people there. I had good people, but I sat for 3 years in a room with no job, no nothing, basically rotting away like a stump in the woods. And then about halfway through it, 3 years into it, a job developed in the kitchen in the county jail. They needed help in the kitchen, and I was able to get a job in the kitchen, which didn't pay anything, but it just got me off the zone. I could work in the kitchen, and I could be around other people that knew what was going on. And eventually that led to me being able to get on the internet and access things that I could have accessed earlier through a law library. But I mean, so that, just to be honest with you, the job in the kitchen is what saved my life. Was one of
There was no pay on it.
no pay. No.
But so the whole time you're getting debt added to you, like,
Well,
but you'd blink and like they're adding bills to you, and you're like,
and
fuck.
bills still, every time I went to court, I mean, I can show you the orders.
It doesn't fucking make sense.
It makes sense. It does make sense. That's the one thing people say. Well, it doesn't that. I know what you're saying. To the common person, it doesn't make it. It doesn't make it. There's no reasonable, rational explanation for it. If you think like a logical person who thinks from legal perspectives, but it makes perfect sense when you go back and look at what all went on. It was designed to take everything I had for no reason and to intimidate anybody else who might ask questions about what they had if they were taken into court. It's all a terrorist activity, strictly is, and I'll stand. I mean, this. If you are, when you walk into a courtroom with your child who is 12, and your child is terrified about losing you, and you are terrified about losing them, and you face the judge, and you realize for the first time that you could lose your child, and you don't know how to explain this to your child who thinks your child thinks you're everything, and you control everything, and you're his sunshine. You know what I mean about your kids. When you realize that you cannot do shit to support that, and it's going to be violated, that's terror. Terror is the thing that comes to your mind. It's terror. And a state court judge is the one doing it. by anybody's definition, it's state-sponsored terrorism. And I'm going to coin another phrase tonight. Another judicial brutality is what it is. Everybody knows about police brutality. I'm telling you right now, judicial brutality. And before I'm done, everybody will know this term. It's abuse. It's abuse by the judiciary. They take an oath to uphold our constitutional rights. They all know they do this. They all know they're violating it. It's a club. It's got to come down. They all know it's coming down. It's coming down. I'm telling you, it's coming down.
All right, well, hey.
It's coming down.
All right, this is gonna be part 4 is coming up.
Do it.
Y'all be fucking ready. I'll tell you that much.
There's also a consensus here. Don't get fucking married.
Well, hey, look, if you, I tell,
Well, I don't know because
I'm dealing with a very
rich ass bullshit family come at you with if you weren't married. I don't know.
well, they came after me through custody. I was already divorced.
So it fucking don't matter.
Well, it does matter. I mean, I'm dealing with. Look, I'm dealing with a very special someone right now, and I'll be the first. I'll say, look, I'm not going to marry you. I wouldn't do you that way. You don't know. You know, I mean, it's that serious.
Hey, part 4 is coming, and guess what? Get fucking ready.
Part 4 is going to expose the other names, you pieces of shit.
Oh yeah,
fucking
look,
suck.
Fuck Grenada.
Fuck Grenada.
Well, I said that before.
you like this, you're gonna love that.
All right, see y'all again. Fuck off, Grenada.